It's been a long hiatus yet again.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Something. Step two.
Anyway,
It's a new year. I'm trying to really get vested in this podcast.
I know. Well, I'm getting vested in the fact that I need some earphones, better ones to block your voice out.
Today's topic is what is the point of New Year's resolutions?
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
And welcome to the Last of the Nice Guys. I'm your one and only host, Jason, and this is my podcast. I'm glad to be here after so long. I don't have to worry about Joe Taro and Joe and all his bullshit. Yes.
Are you done? Are you done?
Oh, Joe, I didn't know you were joining us on this episode. Of the Last of the Nice Guys podcast. Wow.
Now I have to get up and actually do something. All right. So, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that horrible intro.
That was my podcast voice.
Oh, wait. How come you didn't say yes?
Because okay, all right. Yes. The Last of the Nice Guys podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and with me is my fellow Last of the Nice Guy. You gonna say something?
I'm sorry.
I can tweak the script from the Geek Bros podcast.
No, every single time. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe. I'm one half of the Last of the Nice Guys. Thank you for listening to us and watching us, and we love you. Well, I do. I don't know about Jason, but I love you. So I'm laughing because my co-host has a saying that he does on most of his podcasts. Well, actually, not most. One podcast. But it's so unique and hilarious, and at the same time stupid, that it's just funny.
It's called a talent voice. It's called having talent. So I can be a different character on the mic and be a different person in person. What they see is what they get, and it's not much. So for me, you can get Target, Walmart, Kmart, the dollar store, or some high end thing. But when they see you, it's always Family Dollar, always.
And what's ironic? You know what's ironic about that is you just named the departments that normally would be in places like Florida: Walmart, Target, some other redneck stuff.
I'm sorry that we don't have the side store corners like you guys have. People on the street selling it from their friggin' sheets. I miss those good old days. I actually have to go drive.
Bodegas, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Dollar Pizza Spots. Come on, we have it all.
Pizza spots would be, oh my god, what I would give for $1 slice right now.
Then this is why we did our conversation just before. I mean, if you came up here, I wouldn't want you to be in the city because it's ridiculous. But if the surrounding cities, we could just go right in the city and go to like 4 different dollar pizza spots. Oh, actually, they're overrunning the city. There's a lot of them in there now.
Oh, it's because it's a recession. But we've absolutely gone beyond whatever we're supposed to be talking about. Why don't you tell these fine people who probably aren't listening anymore because we're not consistent anymore, Joe, what we're talking about today?
Well, it's been a long hiatus yet
It's
again.
been a
That
long time. I shouldn't have left you. And something, something, something. Step two, step two, step two, step. Oh, sorry.
anyway,
It's a new year. I'm trying to really get vested in this podcast.
I know. Well, I'm getting vested in the fact that I need some earphones, better ones to block your voice out. So anyway,
Earplugs. Just put earplugs in underneath it, and then when you like put this on, it'll put so much pressure. It'll probably pop your eardrum. I'm trying
so
to be
vi-
helpful. I'm trying to
so
be helpful.
violent, so
I
so.
want to before we get into it though. I do want to say Happy New Year to everybody listening, and we promised in 2020 that the Last of the Nice Guys will be significantly more regular. We are planning our Council of Men or Panel of Men. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. I'm still discussing with Joe. It'll
I like
be
counseling. By the way, I'm
Council
just
of
gonna.
Men. Okay, then that's
I
it. That's it. It'll be we are planning our Council of Men.
sounds more
You'd be
powerful.
surprised how hard it is to get a bunch of men, no pun intended, together to do something this ambitious. So I've left it up to Joe Taro to gather his constituents because I really want a different set of people. Anybody who follows Vibe Studios, you tend to see. Well, one constant is my mug, but you tend to see recycling people. So for the Last of the Nice Guys, I wanted to bring ridiculously out of the box individuals. So that's why I'm leaving it up to my main man Joe here to gather his people, his PPs in New York, and you might see a familiar face on my side, so we can have this councilman and discuss it. The idea now is that it's going to be all the episodes prior. I'm going to write down all the names of all the episodes. I'm going to put it in a hat. I'm going to juggle the hat around. I'm going to pick it out of the hat, and that's going to be what we talk about. So it's going to be
Absolutely.
so that it allows for A, it's going to be fun. B, if nothing is scripted, and it kind of catches the guys off guard. You get the raw, no pun intended, reactions to these things because some of them I don't know how many of them are listening to the podcast, so they may just have their own stuff. Joe and I really would be steering the conversation, maybe asking the panel questions, but basically they're just going to be doing their own thing, talking, and we're just gonna kind of just be like they're like the master commanders, just nodding and saying that's stupid.
Absolutely. And I have on my end, I have two fine gentlemen that agreed that they wanted to definitely come on. One of which, like I said, very, very well. Practically the same. I would say the same amount of years that you've known me, actually. So he's very, very down. He's very welcome. He's very, very
He's very Zumba-tastic.
well. I was trying to say something around the point of around the word of Zumba, but it didn't really approach me.
You're
But
not as
he's
tastic as I am.
Yeah, I know I'm not Zumba fantastic, but he is. So he definitely wants to come on the show and do a little pot and do a little talking with us. He did say that his experience is kind of lacking, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at this point.
No,
It's
because you don't need experience to have an opinion. You don't need to have experience to have, I mean, there are men out there that have opinions about pro-choice versus abortion, and you will never experience that, but we have opinions. So you're allowed to have opinions. You don't have to have the experience. That's why I'm saying if anybody wants to join the council, man, you really need to reach out to us at last of the nice guys at yahoo.com because we are really interested in the common man. You don't get any more common than Joe, but at the same time, I want more of you guys out there. I want us to discuss this because these
sure.
topics, Joe and I are putting ourselves out there, but we're trying to like. That's why our tagline is join the conversation. We want you to join the conversation. Don't feel shy. Because trust me, nothing you say is gonna be any more dumb or any more stupid or any more ridiculous than what we've said, especially Joe. So with that being said, we're gonna before we get into today's topic is what is the point of New Year's resolutions?
What is the
But
point?
because of our hiatus, we actually had a plethora of comments on our stuff. You guys really enjoyed the Father's Tale. You guys really enjoyed what women want. I'm gonna read these real quick. It's all posted on our Instagram. We don't get much Twitter action right now. We don't have a Facebook yet. I'm gonna work on that. But our Instagram is popping. So for our Father's Tale, the birds and the bees, Last of the Nice Guys
Yes.
podcast. A sweet, sweet, sweet individual, Mia. She said, we basically said, no, wait. Oh no, I messed it up. Sorry, no. The first one was about Father's Tale, and it was from Jeans to Teens, and they commented, "Self love and care is key." And of course, we were talking about like potential masturbation and what's going on with kids growing up and seeing those things. So that was really funny. The next comment comes from our podcast about what women want. It's on Facebook, and that's from Mia. She goes, "No, really, a hoe actually does sexual. Wait, did I? I think I might have.
That might have
No,
been.
It's out of order. Hold on, I'm gonna get it in order. Okay, she goes, women know what they want. It's just they're trying to get something close to it or keep trying to get closer to that by moving from guy to guy faster. So Joe Taro or Joe, he said, so in other words, the woman is masking being a hoe. So he was no offense, but that's basically he says basically that's what you're trying to say. So you took her comment as her saying that's an excuse for why women are hoes because they're looking for something, right?
Naturally, yes,
So
naturally.
she replies with, "Not really. A hoe actually does sexual things because they're crazy and horny. I mean, a guy can talk to four different girls, and his friends will think he's cool, but a girl can talk to four different fans, be labeled a hoe, and that's hella backwards. And only reason why it's hard to find a restaurant is because you might want something, but you don't know if your partner would like it. So you want something that you'll both will enjoy. Sometimes girls move from guy to guy because either they're not what they expected, or they get tired of the guy. It's nothing personal. Just move on. You wouldn't want to be in a school you don't like, for example. Just transfer to a different school. Which is an interesting analogy. I don't.
It is an interesting analogy. One that I mean I don't really necessarily agree, but
I don't agree with it either. I don't think.
yeah.
I think if a woman, you would. I mean, if you get tired of something, well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone because at the same time, we're all victims of this. We're all guilty of this, where uh, we get bored of something and we want to move on. I think in a relationship though, if you get bored of it, you might want to speak to your partner and see if you can spice it up before you just drop them and move on. I would think
Right.
that. And only if your partner has no interest or doesn't care, then sure, then you move on. But I don't think, oh, he's getting boring now, or oh, I'm not enjoying the sex anymore, or oh, then that's it, walk away. I don't know, I disagree with that. But you
Hmm.
know, so the next comment that we have was about same thing, The Father's Tale, and We Love You Ra says parent control or no internet, bro. Bravo. So they agree with Joe Taro, who basically has his son's device on lockdown and monitored 24/7, and they agreed with him. So
That
there
which
you
is
go.
great, which is
There
great.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
and
go. Well,
I still do.
trust me, Joe Taro needs all the support he can get. Send him more love, guys. He needs to know that you guys respect his words, because Lord
I
knows
do.
I do.
Such an asshole. Such an asshole.
Oh, I think this one is Joe Taro. Joe Taro, I posted for Christmas. I had made a Christmas dinner. It was a fantastic mini ham spread, potatoes au gratin, and lasagna. And I got myself a pecan pie. And I think you had texted me, you had messaged me, why can't? Oh no, it wasn't you. It was, you remember Adrian?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Adrian, our man Adrian. His handle is man in the window. He says, why can we cook and females can't? And I remember, I think did I respond to him? I don't know if I did the rest of it. No, I didn't do the rest of it. We basically had a conversation where we are finding it to be a really odd a coincidence that we're meeting women now that don't know how to cook and are either
Yes.
surprised that you know how to cook, or resent you, or feel intimidated by you and don't want to be around you because you're more domesticated than they are. The
Yep.
last I think the last three or four girls that I was involved with whether no matter how long, couldn't cook, couldn't cook, and and
Which
and
yeah.
and I was like, wow, this is another reason why we have this podcast, because you get to lament with your what's going on, and you find out you're not by yourself, and that's one example. I didn't even think about it. I was like, maybe it's just me, maybe it's the women that I attract, but no. Adrian did say, why can we cook and what females can't? And it's not just cooking with me, it's the presentation. So the next comment is for also same thing. These are the most recent ones. This is to do women know what they want, and a woman, she wrote three, commented, girls don't really know what they want, but a woman does. Period. And I said, okay.
And
So
you said yeah, that was you said well said. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
I
no,
saw
no,
that.
no. Well, it was after that. I asked, well, what determines what are your traits that determine the difference between a girl and a woman? So she goes, from that recording, that's a girl. So basically, what we were discussing, that's a girl. So girls are indecisive. They see the outside and forget to learn about the inside because he's cute for now. He buy me anything I want in exchange for sex. Girls don't understand the value of themselves, etc. They look for the guy to kind of be that gap between subconsciously to be to kind of be that gap subconsciously. Women look past the looks, the good looks, and want to know if the guy is a man or a boy. Whereas he mentally, spiritually, financially prioritizing, and what is he willing to bring forth from the other 50% of the relationship or involvement. She knows her worth. The man should respect it and appreciate it. And you see, I respect it. It is well said. And I did say well said, but at the same
Right.
time, I don't believe that defines that a woman because I've met women that I would consider are women and did not appreciate a man that was mentally,
Absolutely.
spiritually, or
Yes.
financially sound. I mean, you're
Right.
talking to a guy who, after and I'm not to beat a dead horse, you know, who really went on the limb for a girl that he liked. He shelled out some dough. He made himself available. He lent his car, and in the end, and did everything that
Pretty
which
much
is pretty much
everything that
that a
a
good
woman
that a
would.
woman would want from a
Exactly.
significant other, and still
Exactly.
was dropped. So if it's not about the good looks and you're looking past that, but you're seeing the qualities, well, this woman saw these qualities and still said, "Nah, I'm good." So I disagree partially. Is that I don't know. I used to have a term called a woman of substance, and I used to say that I'm looking for a woman of substance, and I used to think I found a few. I said, you're a woman of substance, and I
Right.
had qualities, but then they did the same crap. They just had better qualities than the regular crap. So I abandoned that term. I don't believe there's any such thing as a woman of substance as I define it. Let's say there's no good women. A woman of substance is different than a good woman or independent woman.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one day maybe I'll do an episode where I define what a woman of substance is, but it's a term that I no longer use because I haven't seen it or I'm not good at identifying it because those that I've labeled women of substances that I would then put time and effort into pursuing
Right. Right.
would do the exact same thing as a woman who I just wanted to hit it and quit it with. So I was just like, so
It did. It didn't add up. It
it
didn't
didn't
add
add
up.
up. So maybe we can put that into the future. But Woman She Wrote 3, we appreciate your opinion and we'd love to hear more. Hopefully you keep listening and let's keep the conversation going and eventually maybe we might even invite you on for the Battle of the Sexes that we'll have in a few episodes after a couple of Council of Men. All right, and that is it. That is all our comments. It's 8, 9 comments. Thank you guys so much for being involved on Instagram. I
Yes.
actually check it. I think we need to post more. I was posting more memes and stuff, but I stopped. But because you guys seem to be very involved in Instagram, liking stuff, and we're getting followers weekly. Like it's slow. It's a slow drip, but
It.
none of my other productions get followers consistently like we do. So
This is
and
exactly what we wanted to happen too. By the way.
exactly, and they're finding
So,
us through these memes. They're finding us through these topics. I'm having some great conversations with some people because of these topics.
yeah.
Uh, so I'm saying, we're gonna definitely gonna get more on it. Joe Tara's gonna get off his ass and put some stuff up there too. And thank you for doing that. So again, if you want to know how to follow us on social media, stay tuned to the very end of the episode. Our outro actually has it, so we don't have to say it, which is great. So with that being said, what is the point of New Year's resolutions? Joe, I'll let you start us off with that.
There. To me, I think it's more of a self motivation tactic. And what I mean by that is, you know, when people say to put certain things into to say certain things so you can put it into the universe,
Okay.
where you are basically saying that I'm putting, like, oh, for in the next couple of months, I'm putting this out. Like they'll say, I'm putting this out into the universe. I'm
Mhm.
definitely gonna go ahead, get myself the career job that I want to get. It's gonna happen because I'm putting it out there. Like it's gonna happen, and I think um, that's great and everything. But saying something and actually doing it are two different things.
Right.
Putting in effort and saying that you're going to saying that you're going to put the effort in are two different things. You and I both know that, and I think to me it also applies to the whole New Year's resolution thing.
Mhm.
My resolution for 2020, I'm going to start eating more carrots. Like I don't think it should be something that you should be just saying. Here's the thing. As I got older, I realized that I became more of an advocate for not saying a lot. and just doing it. I used to be that type of guy where I'd say, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna apply to this job. I'm gonna go to this state. I'm gonna fly here. I used to say like I'm gonna, and like 9 times out of 10 it would never happen. And not saying it would never happen because I said it, but it wouldn't happen. It never happened because I just didn't put the effort into it. And I think partially it is me having to say it over and over again is to blame for me not actually putting the effort in and doing it. I'm not sure if I'm like making any sense about this, but I'm trying to basically say that if you're gonna say that my New Year's resolution is X, Y, and Z, I don't think you should really have to say that. Just fucking do it. I
So,
and
so
I
like a birthday wish. You know how they say that when you blow out the candles, make a wish, but don't tell anybody, or else it won't come true. Is that what you're trying to say?
that in a sense, and also the whole like the whole theory of putting it out into the universe. Like I actually my my stupid self used to say that all the time back in the day. Then, like I said, as I got older and older, I realized that like when you say something like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this out in the universe and it's gonna happen," okay, it's great and everything, but just because you're saying it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna happen. Why don't you just put the effort in, give it your all, and just do it? And don't even tell nobody. You don't even have to. I'm not saying you don't have to. I'm not gonna say don't say anything to nobody. That's if that's your prerogative in your opinion if you want to do that. Me personally, I'd rather just do the action and you see it for yourself as opposed to me saying I'm gonna do this. Watch, watch what I do in like the next 2 months. I'm gonna go ahead and go here. I'm gonna get this job. I'm just gonna fucking do it silently, and then when it happens, and I have whatever I'm doing in my possession, Jay, guess what? I just got this job. I'm making this. I'm doing this, and then you're like, oh shit, wow, you actually did that. I didn't even know.
Right.
Because I actually was working in silence. I was being one of those secretive ninjas, and I just did what I had to do behind closed doors, and I made it. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I like I said, I guess it's just like it reminds me of faith. Like you're putting and the word faith can be so misconstrued though, but I feel like it kind of it corresponds with the whole saying like New Year's resolutions, and then you know I'm gonna I'm putting this out in the universe. I think it's like it all reminds me. To me, it's like all the same thing. It's like all in one big category. Like
Hmm.
you're just speaking upon it. And I'm just not an advocate for that no more. I'm more of a just do it type of guy. Like just fucking do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Yeah, exactly. Do it.
I mean, I agree. I agree. I mean, but you see,
Ooh.
but in your opinion, why do you think people make New Year's resolutions? What's the point? Is it for regular people? I mean, I'm gonna give you my opinion in a minute, but I'm curious what is the point of it for the average Joe?
I guess to boost their ego.
Because
No, I'm
yeah,
not. No offense to people who do it though. I'm not knocking you guys, but I just think that to me, um, I got so tired of actually like saying. I just, it's
I
so
just got so
fucking.
tired of News resolutions. I don't say shit anymore. Let's
I
enjoy
know. I
terms.
just got. I just got so tired because honestly, half the time, it's like 3 years ago actually. Oh no, about 4 years ago, I would say stuff like, yeah, my New Year's resolution is I'm gonna stop eating after 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop eating. Dude, it only took me until last year is when I finally stopped eating after 9 o'clock. And
Hmm.
mind you, I would eat like big stuff. I eat like peanuts and like, I peanut butter and apples after 9, which is not bad, but still, it's eating after 9. And you're allegedly not supposed to be doing that. But
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. So I just stopped doing that last year. And now, I mean, and I didn't say anything to nobody. I didn't say shit. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this as New Year's resolution." Oh, I'm gonna put this out here, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna stop fucking eating after 9. I just did it silently. No one knew. People were seeing that I was dropping weight. I would tell them what I was doing, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, wow! So you just stopped eating at night? You have a strict schedule when you eat. You have a fast that you're doing." I didn't say anything to nobody. I just did it. I just don't think that. I just think that like people who have to constantly say what they're doing or bring up these ridiculous. resolutions that they want to do, it just, to me, it sounds like you're just boosting something that you want to.
A need for validation, a need for
Yeah,
kudos or something.
validation. Yeah, you just want to project your 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 what's that word? You want to project
Ego? I don't
you
know.
want to project your presence to
Okay.
everybody so that they can see that you said it.
Right.
I'm the type of guy that would be in the room if you would boost about that shit. I would just stand there and be like, "All right, we get it. Shut the fuck up now. Like, we get it. We know what you're gonna do.
So you're one of those
Great.
guys. You want to
Let
be,
us."
you want to rain on my parade.
I am. I do. But I also want to say, show me in 3 months what you got.
Right.
Show me in 2 months if you're gonna do it. Okay. Your resolution is to go to the gym because you have a few pounds that you want to lose. All right, I'll see you in 2 months. See you in 3 months. Let me see how serious you are about your resolution.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's
I mean, I agree. I agree. I mean, New Year's resolutions, I believe, are worthless inherently. Some of it can be no. I mean, it is. It is. Some of it can be well intentioned. Most of it is just, of course, for attention, and the other part is wishful thinking. But it is worthless because here's the thing, and it's funny because it goes back to I was one like motivational video I listened to, and it said you know you're overweight or you want to start a diet, so you make a commitment. You saying, you know what, next Monday I'm going to start my diet. It said no, bitch, start today. Why are you waiting till next Monday? Why don't you start tomorrow? You know, even if tomorrow's Thursday, start on a Thursday and start. But when you keep making it Monday, then Monday becomes okay next Monday, and you so basically why put off till tomorrow what you can do today? So it's the same
prolonging
phrase.
it.
Exactly. So the same phrase when it comes to New Year's resolutions. Why are you waiting till the new year to say you're gonna change? Change now. Do it right now. Like I put a post on Instagram. I've been what you guys may or may not know is that I'm in the process of doing a fitness thing and a lifestyle change. I'm doing intermittent fasting. It works. I mean, for the most part, I can lose a pound a week just fasting without any working out because I'm promoting a calorie deficit. But what I've been doing to increase the speed of my weight loss is I'm working out uh, twice a day, not for very long, but twice a day. In other words, on my lunch break, I work out for half an hour at lunch. Literally, I get off of work, I go to the gym, I take off my suit, I put on my gym clothes, I work out for 30 minutes, freshen up, put my suit back on, go back to work. I added the lunch break workout just randomly when I decided to start doing this again because I was on it around Star Wars Celebration, dropped off, gained back the weight. I was just
You
kind of
have
sad.
you have a gym in your job?
No, but there's a rehab center like 5 minutes away. Hop in the
Oh,
car, drive
nice.
5 minutes away, park, do it real quick. I only found out because I did a production video there, and I was like, "This is a gym." I said, "Holy crap! Is you guys right?" Because I wanted. I said because I'm doing fasting and I'm not eating during lunch. That's an hour of doing nothing, and the
Hmm.
temptation is there, and I know me, so I have to feel a temptation with something. You know, I'm not gonna nap. If I nap, I want to eat. If I watch something on my thing, I'm gonna want to eat. So what do? You work out. So I've been doing that, and so I posted right after New Year's, randomly in the week, because I usually post a video every Monday saying I'm there working on, just so people know that I'm being consistent. And I posted it randomly, I think on Thursday, yeah, the very next day, and I said, "This is not a New Year's resolution. This is a New Year's continuation." And that's
Right.
literally what it was. I was continuing the workout. I wasn't increasing anything. I was continuing it, my lunch break workouts, because people thought I was nuts. You're getting off on lunch, you're gonna go work out, and then come back to work. I said that's no more nuts than people waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, putting in an hour at the gym, going home, shower, and go to work. I don't see how people can do that. I think that's nuts.
That's
So
yeah, that's pretty hard, and that's hard to do.
it
That's not
is. It
easy.
is. I've
That's
tried to
a
do that, and I
that's a
just can't.
set that's a set schedule that you have to keep on doing.
Exactly.
A committed schedule. It's hard.
Right.
The people who do it out there,
Yeah.
I commend you
Oh, I
because
commend you.
yeah, I've always wanted to do that myself. I'll be
Yeah,
honest. I've
I've
always
tried. I've tried. I've had two buddies who did it. I've tried, but I said, listen, man, I can't get up. I can't do this. You know, and it's easier for them because they don't have to be at work at 7 or 6:45 like I do. So they have more leeway. They'll get up early. They'll still have maybe an hour or two before they get ready for work. I, on the other hand, have to literally run back home, shower, put on my clothes, and drive. I'm still sweating from the workout while on the drive in my work in my work suit. So I'm just like, no. But that's what I'm saying is that New Year's resolutions are an excuse to, well wishing or not, to change. And it allows people to continue their bad behavior up until the end of the year and say, you know what, I'll keep drinking alcohol, I'll keep smoking stuff, I'll keep acting like a dickhead. But you know what? The next year I'm gonna turn things around. And but that's how it is though. And I find it to be like, especially when it comes to the fall, usually people they really, start eating a lot or hammer down, not just because it's the holiday time, but because they know the New Year's is coming and they're going to use that as a new starting point. No, start next month, start today, start tomorrow. I think New Year's resolutions, which is that concept, has hurt our society because if you have an arbitrary deadline that comes every year, you can push back any change, any positive change that you want until then. And then, of course, because you waited so long, you become entrenched and even more entrenched inside your bad behavior, negative behavior. That when you try to do it cold turkey like that on January 1st, the very next year, most people, and that's why New Year's resolutions don't continue. They all
No,
fail. The majority of them fail because you're
majority
doing
of
it
them, yeah.
cold turkeys, cold turkey. January 1st, you stop doing whatever you're doing. Most people regress, and it's a shame because that's that's not the point. And I'm sure there are a lot of well-meaning people out there like that really mean what they say, but then they fall off. They fall off because you're doing it cold turkey. You need to
Do you
ease yourself into it.
do you think it could be more? So what you're saying right now, do you think it sounds like more of a as a trend? They're just doing it for the trending purpose,
Trend is a traditional. It's a trendy tradition. How about that? New Year's
that
resolution
yeah,
is a trendy tradition. It's a
yeah,
tradition. It's a societal tradition, at least for us here in America. As it's a societal tradition, and it is trendy because it can follow fads, it can follow diets, it can follow different things that are going on, or celebrities that make up a New Year's resolution everybody follows. It's a trendy tradition, but the simple fact though is it's a tradition. It's a
right.
tradition that I feel is harmful to the progression of our society because I'm gonna throw this random percentage out. 90% fail. I have no, I have no, don't at me. I have no facts for that, but I'm just saying that from in my opinion, 90% fail. Those sweet 10% out there, but 10% of a lot is a little. So I'm just saying that I think New Year's resolutions are worthless. I think they're fun for little kids, much like birthday wishes. And I agree, if you're really serious about a New Year's resolution, you probably keep it internal. You'd keep it internal and let your actions speak for themselves. I didn't think about that.
Exactly.
That's an interesting
Exactly.
statement that you said. I didn't think about that part. And I didn't really equate the whole, oh, I'm going to stop smoking in 2020. You weren't doing it just to psych yourself out, but you're doing it to get praise and accolades from your people. I didn't think about that either. That's something you brought up. So I was actually quite interested. This is why I talked to you, Joe, because you broadened my horizons. You get me
I
outside of my box.
because I like I said, I have, as you grow older and you start learning different things about yourself and about the people around you and about people in general, and
Right.
you start making better assessments, and you start making depending on how your lifestyle is, you start making assessments based on how you feel about things. And me personally, it's been more I've been more inclined to like and again, I'm not knocking the people who are on this motivational whether it be New Year's resolution, or whether it be like, oh, we're gonna project this and do this and like a vision board and stuff like that. I'm not knocking anybody who does that.
Right.
I think those are all fantastic ideas. I think that if it works for you, keep on fucking doing it. Me personally, and just my opinion, and just my opinion, I feel like all of those things to me are a waste of time, because if you really truly want something, if and I was actually gonna mention this to you before we actually got on air. I was gonna say because me and you always talk about random stuff, and we
Yeah.
talk in general. I was gonna mention to you, actually, like, tell you a few days ago. I was thinking about applying for a position over in San Jose, California. And right now, I currently live in Brooklyn, New York. For people who are listening who don't know,
South Florida
and
bitches, stand up.
and the thing is that I was that type that said to myself, I'm gonna wait a little bit, because I have a lot going on up here. I have a 10-year-old, I have a
Allegedly.
fiance,
Allegedly.
I have a I have a lot of things happening. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna wait a little bit, put it on hold. They're always hiring, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do that application when I feel like the time is right and people are on board, because it's a big move. I'm literally going from East Coast to West Coast, so it would be a huge move. It's a big decision. All right, cool. This was about maybe last year, the beginning of last year. I had this strong feeling I wanted to do it. I felt tired of living up in New York. I tell you this all the time. I hate it up here. It's just, it's not how it was before when I grew
Right.
up. Things are more expensive. They're driving people out, good people out. Neighborhoods are changing. It's just not a good place. And that's like probably another topic for another day. But just, to make a long story short, I definitely, definitely had the urge to just pack up my bags and go. Did I do it? Obviously not. I'm still here. But I had the urge and I kept telling myself and even other people, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. Had I not went ahead and told people or projected it verbally to like tell people I'm going to do it, I probably would have gotten fed up one morning, told my woman, packed up my son's stuff, packed up all our stuff and just left and just and that's the type of energy that I have been having lately, where I have been doing stuff in silent because I'm preparing to just go ahead and just pack up the stuff and just leave. Obviously, I'll tell the obvious people know that I want to go and I am going, but I wouldn't project it in the sense where I'm going to be doing this. You watch. Like I'm not going to tell you that this is going to happen. Like I'll just. It's kind of a weird feeling and a weird thing to say, but I wouldn't boost about it. Like I wouldn't go ahead and just tell you it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I just want to go ahead and put the effort in and actually do it from the sideline so that it can happen. And like I said, this is something that I grew up. And this is something that I've not grew up, but I've began to realize as I got older. I just I don't want to hear any of the vision board people, and I don't care about your vision board. I don't give a fuck about how you have a resolution and that you're going to the gym and then by January 5th you stop. I don't give a shit about any of that. I just want you to do what you have to do
And keep your
so
mouth
that
fucking shut.
and yeah, exactly, and keep your mouth fucking shut. Like just put the effort in and do it. You don't have to tell the world. Just fucking do it, man.
So what he's
Just
trying to say is that technically is that you have nothing to prove, so there's no reason to
why? Why?
voice it out there like that. Is that what you're
Who,
saying?
who, who are we proving anything to, Jay? Who do we have to prove anything to? Like, let's just, for example, let's look at me and you. We have been through so much in the past 30 something years that you're gonna tell me that we have to prove anything to anybody at this
Agreed.
point of our life?
Agreed.
Like,
I'm right on the same page with you.
not even our kids, because at the same time we're giving our boys uh trying to or making it happen. I guess a better life. We want them to have something better that we didn't have. So we're doing our best and putting the effort in to get that done. But we have nothing than that. We have nothing else to prove, and that doesn't even make and that's not even the same category as having us to prove to them anything because they're our children. They look up to us. We're supermen, to them. And if when it comes to other people like wives, girlfriends, or fiancés, whatever it is, we don't have to prove anything to them either. I don't think we have to prove anything to anybody.
Hmm.
So, with that being said,
Some would say that's arrogance, and some would say that that's fairly ignorant of us to state that out loud. Some would
yeah,
say that we have a chip on our shoulders, and to those who would say that, I'd say, yeah, I agree. That doesn't mean anything, but I
very
agree.
subtle, very subtle. Yeah, 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 I agree.
Just like that. Just like that. I'm just being real.
I know, but yeah, but think about it though. We really don't. We at the end of the day we don't. If you and for people who have to have something to prove, I mean, I at the same time kind of feel bad for you. I do because you're always gonna live your life having to prove something to somebody, and you're not gonna be focused on what you really have to do. You're gonna be having to do it in the limelight where people have to see you because you have to prove something to somebody. Like I just don't. I don't agree with that mentality. I just think that it needs to. You just need to shut your mouth and do it, and stop complaining. Like I sound like Bill Burr. Like for the, I sound like Bill Burr right now, and I love Bill Burr. He's an amazing comedian. And actually, he was on the recent Mandalorian episode.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Was fantastic, fantastic. But I sound like him, but when he says stuff like this, I absolutely applaud him because he's right. There's way too many people complaining out there. There's way too many
Oh
people
yeah.
making broken promises,
Oh yeah.
stupid resolutions, things that
Yep.
they don't follow. And I think it's all because of trends. I think it's all because they want to prove something to somebody and they're not doing it for themselves. I don't believe in trends. I never did. I do not believe in having to prove something to somebody or people or whatever it is. I don't believe in having to be in the spotlight so that I can get all this recognition. Give
See,
me give.
it's funny you say that, you know, because my understanding was that you were following some kind of trend, or you were trying to get some kind of attention when you went through that phase of dyeing your hair and your beard and everything. That
I
really bright, obvious
that
color. So,
okay.
for you to say this to me, and I mean, I respect you completely. I literally, so I guess that's wrong. I guess that was just you waking up one day and saying, I'm going through something. Let me frost my tips orange or something.
First of all, they weren't frosted. The whole head was completely orange. Second of all, that was a disaster gone wrong because I was supposed to get a hair color that I had when I was pretty much a toddler, and my hair color changed. So I wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah, you had blonde hair when I met you. So
Was it natural though? It wasn't dyed in.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't think it was dyed. I
I
just
don't even remember to be honest. I think it
you
was
had
natural.
you had blonde hair when I knew you that's why I called you Slim Shady. So
Yes, you did. You're
I
right.
did. I called you Slim Shady because when Marshall Mathers or Eminem came out, he had blonde hair. So whether it was dyed or not, if he was so you had that. I just
Yeah,
told you to,
yeah.
I called you Slim Shady.
I've always no. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go ahead and try that type of hair color again. Not because again, I'm not. Everybody dyes their hair. Everybody, you
Yeah,
know, does different colors or whatever the case may be. But I didn't want to.
especially when you're going through stuff.
Shut up. I wasn't doing it for. I wasn't doing it for trends or anything like
Well,
that.
no, no, of course. Now I know it was a
Yeah.
cry for help. So, so now I know what happened. There you go, arrogance. I thought you're just, following a trend, but in reality, it was a cry for help, and I failed that test, ladies and gentlemen.
First of all, don't talk about. Let me just explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. This man had a phase, if I ever fucking knew one. He had cornrows one time.
Okay, I'm a black man, allegedly.
Okay, but he had cornrows one time. He had this mustache that made him look like a dictator.
It
Some
was a.
shit.
Don't you mess with my Mussolini mustache, okay? It rocked. It rocked.
He
It
had
rocked
a
and it
he had a,
rolled.
he had this yellow fucking what was it? A Civic, yellow
Yeah,
Civic,
Dodge Neon. That wasn't a
like
phase. That was a good looking car.
yellow Dodge Neon. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember packing 8 people in this Dodge Neon like a bunch of clowns and coming out of it like a bunch of clowns.
You made it work.
We unfortunately did because none of us had rides like you, so we actually had to make it work. Oh, good times, good fucking times, man. Oh my god. Anyway,
All right, wrap it up, dude. Friggin' getting off topic.
I love it. The
You look
people love.
like you look like that friggin' leprechaun in Lucky Charms. That's how damn bright your hair was.
And
It
he
was
act,
ridiculous.
actually they took a few notes from my book, so that's why.
Was that what it was? Oh,
Yeah.
is that the reason why you're going to litigation? I thought
So
somebody was suing you again for sexual harassment.
exactly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
So final thoughts. Your final thoughts on the purpose or the concept or the point of New Year's resolutions.
stop fucking saying them and just do what you have to do. Stop projecting these these visions or fantasies that you want to do. Not fantasy. I'm sorry. That's a little bit. That's offensive.
Now
Stop.
you're being
Yeah, 'cause I
condescending.
think I am, and I guess I'm being kind of an asshole at the same time too. But
Not
I,
kind of. There's nothing kind of about it.
whew. So I do know one thing. I do know one thing.
It's time
I
for Jedi to end.
I will. It is time for the Jedi to end. It's okay. We need more Sith. Bring them back. Darth Malik. Um, all of them. Um, I've been catching up on my Star Wars, by the way. I've been
I
reading.
I can
I've
see that.
I've been reading Legends.
You're
I've
saying
been
words
reading
I've never heard come out of your mouth to begin with.
exactly. I've been reading Legends. I've been reading the Old Republic stuff, like all that. I've been canon. Anyway, um, we gotta talk about that, by the way, because I'm like,
What,
I
for the Rise
you
of Skywalker?
found no that movie. Oh God, please.
Well, I gotta hear this. I cannot wait to hear this. But okay, what do you
Um,
say?
I just want for my New Year's resolution.
Hmm?
Even saying it sounds stupid. Um, so what I my final thoughts on this is just I'm not knocking people who have vision boards and who have a dream. You know, you if you have a dream, if you have a vision board and you have a vision of what you want to do, I think that for the people who do talk about it and they get it done, I applaud you and I think that's great. Um, you know, nothing should hold you back from doing what makes you happy and what you want to accomplish. But I also think that because of the society that we live in today, people are more focused on trends and they're more focused on what other people are doing.
Mhm.
So, and just look on the reality shows, look at the mindless bullshit that you see on social media. I mean, it's literally the same thing, just in different forms. And I think that if you feel like you should, you know, if you feel like you have a dream or a vision, and you really want it to happen and want it, I think you should just do it behind the scenes. Get it done and do it behind the scenes. Save up that $10,000 that you said you wanted to do, and at the end of the year for this year, and make it happen. I don't think you should be explaining it to anybody. I don't think you should be telling, because some people have this projection that if you say something to somebody what you're doing, it's probably not going to happen because you're speaking too much on it. And I believe in that. I do believe in that. I do believe if you open your mouth so much about something that you want to do and you want it that bad and you keep expressing it to people, it will never happen.
Well,
And
okay, you believe it won't happen because you're jinxing yourself, or do you believe it won't happen because there are people? Because I believe that there are people all around us who would never want to see us happy, would never want to
yeah,
see us
they never
achieve our
see you.
goals.
Yeah,
The friend they call them frenemies now apparently, but you know, and you don't know who these people are, but they look at you and they hear you and they keep you around, but they will do anything in their power to you know to disrupt your goals. So when you say don't tell anybody, is it because you think you're jinxing it, or because you're by putting it out there, and for those to hear that you're inviting people to sabotage it, as well as of course you being lazy as fuck.
I think it's it's you kind of
Sorry, too
you
kind of
kind of
speak.
just no you kind of just nailed it right there. It's more so the fact that I think it's more so the fact that if you if you keep blabbering your mouth about having to do, let's just say for example, I'll bring up a example that I've heard recently. This is a real life thing. You keep blabbering your mouth about how you want to save up this amount
Right.
for a specific moment in your life that's going to happen.
For a moment like this.
I hate that song.
Sorry.
If you
Who hurt you? Who hurt you, Joe? Who hurt you, Joe? Who hurt you to that song?
I think you probably about a couple of years ago.
Sounds about. Sounds about.
You didn't give me a ride in the Pikachu, and you left me having to take the bus
Let me tell you something.
from.
Let me tell you
So
something, motherfucker. All right, that car was legit. That car was the truth,
that
and the
car
fact that okay,
looked.
and it had chrome rims. It had a spoiler. It had tinted windows. It had a sunroof. It was a sun and fun package, dude. And I got that thing. So don't you dare, okay, speak ill will of that vehicle.
Ladies and gentlemen, he had plastic rims.
They weren't plastic.
Had a spoiler that came on and off.
No,
He would
that's not true
he,
either.
he would just take it off when he's not with the crew and put it back on when he goes to work. Okay, he had windshield wipers that played music every time the washer fluids came on. Um, he always had 106.7 on the radio. He never had any good tunes
I
on.
don't even know what that means. 106.7.
Anyway, um,
My final thoughts on New Year's resolutions are yes, I believe that they are inherently worthless. I think that they are an excuse for people to reset or to prolong their negative behavior because they have an arbitrary date to change. Then they try and change and they just go back to their old ways because they did a cold turkey without any real prep or any real interest. I believe if you want to change or you have a resolution, you're not gonna wait. If it's something that really means something to you, you're not gonna wait till the new year. You're gonna start right the fuck now. You're gonna
exactly,
start today. You're gonna start tomorrow. If there's something that you really feel like you need to change and it deserves to be spoken out loud as your New Year's resolution, it should be important enough to start now, even if it's the day before New Year's. So that's what I have to say. That's why I believe New Year's resolutions are worthless because if it's something important enough to you, you would start the minute the idea popped into your head, or you prepare for it the minute the idea popped into your head. You're not gonna wait for some random date. And again, that goes for starting a new behavior the next week. No, you start today. Start tomorrow. You don't have to wait
exactly,
till Monday or next month or next year or
exactly,
till New Year's or till your birthday or until Christmas. If you really want to do it, then just do it.
exactly.
And that's how I feel. So
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it up here for our New Year's special. So it's technically not episode 10 if you're counting. Our New Year's special of Last of the Nice Guys podcast. It was a pleasure ringing in the new year with you, Joe.
likewise, my friend. And let me just say, we this our New Year's resolution is we're gonna keep doing this every Thursday. But I'm not. It's not a resolution. We're gonna make this happen because I want to have a strict um, Thursday schedule for
Mhm.
us, so that people know that we're coming on between this hour and this hour, and I wanted to keep it, you know, on point. So Thursdays looks like it's the best day for us to do these,
Okay.
and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. I mean, the Last of the Nice Guys podcast is one of my favorites, if not the most favorite podcast that I do, because I like discussing these topics. It's cerebral. It's just one topic, and we just talk, And unlike all the other projects that I have, it's not scripted. The only thing that we decide upon is the topic, and usually we decide the topic just before we hit record. We have a bunch
Yeah,
of topics, but we don't pre-plan these, and these are not researched. These are not inspired by anything really. Sometimes it's just we have a list of topics, and okay, well, whose turn is it this time? Yours. Okay, what are we choosing? Well, let's do this one, and then we record. So you're getting our raw, unvetted, unfiltered opinions about these topics. So this is what I really enjoy. Again, like I said, this is
yeah,
this is like therapy for us. It's cathartic. So if you think
it
this is
is.
cathartic and therapy for you, by all means, email us about anything or comment on our Instagram, and we will read it. We will respond, and no matter what you say, we will respond to it. Even if you insult Joe because he's thick-skinned, he can handle it. I'm
I
just saying.
can. I've
So
I've this I've had the thick skin build up for years. So
that's
bring it
exactly
on.
what she said. So that's about it. I'm Jason,
I am Joe.
and we are the Last of the Nice Guys. Thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.